Welcome back to the channel, you guys. Anyone can resonate with today's channel message, as we're going to be releasing all titles, labels, and expectations for control. So these messages will only resonate with the soul. If you happen to hear anything that calls to you, know that it is meant for you to receive that message. Leave the rest for someone else, as all of my messages are timeless on this channel. So I look forward to doing more readings like this with you guys. Very interesting. We're going to start with the angel number. Okay. The angel number that you have is angel number 630. 630 is about the choices and decisions that you have made have brought about positive opportunities into your life. Okay. So definitely look that up for yourself. Angel number 630. Also, angel number 1515 was speaking about positive changes, new beginnings, personal transformations in your lives and things like that. I also want to dive deeper into what is that? The numerology number 15, which reduces to a 6. So all these little nuggets that Spirit has been sharing with me, just connecting with the energy. There's a lot of, how can I say, there's some contrast happening here. There's the light, and then there's the contrast of the moon, right? So it's the sun and the moon contrast. And the reason why at this particular time humanity has reincarnated, for whatever reason, your soul has reincarnated at this time, very pivotal time, because I feel as if this is like a major transition where Pluto is going to be, or pretty much Pluto is in Aquarius. So during our lifetime, when this message is coming out, right, it is timeless, but at the time in which this message is being delivered, the lifespan of humanity at this current present time will be experiencing this transition, and it'll be a major transition that stays in Aquarius throughout the duration of your lifetime. Okay. From the time you're watching it, from when it's uploaded. Okay. So with knowing that there are a lot of occult, okay, mysticism, things that are going to come to the light. Okay. And when I say come to the light, it's going to be more mainstream, right? So you're going to see, I'm hearing Monsters Inc. Okay. Monsters High. And it was like normalizing of spirits, ghosts, entities, and being able to say, I'm an alien, or I'm a mermaid, or I am this, or I resonate with that. I feel drawn to that. It's like your soul is going to be recalling so many different lifetimes that you were a mermaid, or you were a dragon, or you were from different aspects, diasporas, and all of that Akashic information that is about to be retrieved. Like, you're about to start having dreams about it. You're about to start feeling like, this was wild. I saw this ghost. I had this happen. All these different paranormal activities, supernatural things are going to be really like connecting with you. And as they're connecting with you, they're also going to be connecting with people that haven't really awakened. And there's going to be that contrast that I was speaking about earlier of fear that you're connecting with something dark. And then you have the other contrast of, no, it's not dark. Actually, this is what resonates with my soul. My soul remembers this lifetime, that experience, and so forth and so on. And somewhere in the middle, the souls that I am called to connect with today, 444, angel number 444, look it up. You're kind of like in the middle, right? You guys are the bridge. You're the mediators. You're the mediums. You're the ones that that trailblazes that particular path of not being afraid, providing that contrast, right? Providing that dual perspective where it's like, yes, I'm aware of the negative, but I'm also aware of the positive. And somewhere in the middle, there is balance. There is space for the conversation. There's space to have talk about topics that are occultish, taboo, unorthodox, and that's kind of like your sweet spot, right? Now, it's imperative that we discuss this because this the topic, okay, I'm going to say topic that you guys are going to be expressing is extremely controversial, right? It's more of entities, right? 15 is also the devil card in not astrology, but in tarot. It is the devil card. It's Capricorn energy. It's the root chakra. So it's everything: addiction, depression, mental health, ego, secrecy, cheating, dependency, bondage, materialism, sexuality, feeling hopelessness, abuse, violence. So that entire realm is a space where you will be working with, right? And when I looked up, what was it? Hold on, let me get my phone. When I looked up numerology number 15, it breaks down to a 6, right? And it was talking about 6 being the Venus number, all right? Venus number is the planet of sensuality, beauty, harmony, and uplifted femininity. So strong femininity. It's also 6 is also the most feminine and mysterious of all the numbers. So they're pretty much saying that it's like potentially the most trickiest number to master. So if you're mastering that 6, okay, so you could have 6 letters in your name. You could be doing in your personal year number 6. You get what I'm saying? And so you have this tremendous erotic power. You may have a strong sense of pleasure right now. Your sensuality is extremely heightened. For those where this is going to resonate, you're going to feel this urge and this desire to kind of embrace this occult power, really embody the 6 number. It's going to put you in contact with parallel worlds, spirits, ghosts, entities. And then there's something about the aesthetic sense. In this number, it's like artistic. So a lot of you will feel this urge to really play around with your artistic talents, your ability to shine light in that Capricorn energy, right? So whatever you do for work, your artistic expression will be acting as a contrast of light, shining light. Where other people see darkness, you see an opportunity to heal. And so through your beauty, through your art, through your expression, through your talent, people will become aware of light. That is and light is also symbolic for hope. It's awareness, it's consciousness, right? So whatever you were unconscious to in those prior environments, you become aware of. Not necessarily you, but those around you will become aware that you are different from them. So a lot of you will feel different in those environments, and that is why a target may feel as if it's on your back, but really what spirit wants you to do is see it as an opportunity to shine your light even brighter, right? As an opportunity to work with that energy 6, work with that power, work with that aesthetic that you have, the beauty that you have, the talent that you have, and use it as a conduit for attracting people that may feel lost, people that may feel broken, or and they're in their darkest moments, they're going to be drawn to you. And if you're in this energy of, I don't really care to be drawn to those types of energies, I'm trying to manifest positive and all those different things, that is great. But for whatever calling that you have, whatever your soul yearns to learn this lifetime, to grow and expand from this lifetime, it is essentially calling you into the realms and the spaces where people need, this is the need, right? So supply and demand, from a soul purpose. If humanity needs healing and they don't know how to get there, the divine will provide contrast. Other people walking in their light and their authenticity and their autonomy, that contrast will create a form of a trigger. That trigger will be somewhat irritative, but it's not personal to you. It's the spiritual symptom of a person becoming aware of themselves, unlike anything they've ever been able to comprehend before. So from a spiritual context, do they want to disturb you? Do they want to harm you? Absolutely not. Their soul is drawn to your soul because on some level, their soul is saying, hey, you see that soul right there? That soul is a healer. Whether you're aware of it or not, your soul is a healer. And you may be wondering, like, I don't know if I should engage in conversation, or if I should be around this person, because then what's on them is going to be on me. And when you are embodying this superpower of the six, nothing can really stop you, harm you. And I say that very sparingly, right? When I say nothing can really harm you, does that mean that it's going to be uncomfortable? Yes. Does that mean that in some ways, when you're handling a snake and you that snake has teeth, the snake is poisonous and it could potentially bite you, right? And so, yes, everybody wants to go into a situation and say, okay, I'm going to pick up that snake, I'm going to pet that dog because, you just want to love it. But through trial and error, you learn how to handle the snake, how to handle the dog, how to handle all levels of consciousness. And so when you walk with that type of armor of the divine, nothing can really harm you, right? Nothing can really hurt you. Will it be uncomfortable? Will you experience the emotions of grief? Absolutely. But in that situation, you can say, okay, God, okay, the divine, I have provided this contrast. I no longer want this part or this part of it. I release it. And you have to know it. So it is. It's already done. And I feel like you're in this space right now where your gifts are being amplified. Your superpower. Your gifts are being amplified, and the divine wants you to embrace your superpower. All right, whatever that superpower is. From an imbalanced standpoint, right? A lot of you guys may be, how I told you the contrast. So let's say you're in the energy of being a balanced energy, 6 energy, a balanced magnetic energy. Your contrast would be the opposite of you, right? The imbalance. And those will be people that gossip, they're manipulative, drama, jealousy, bickering. And if they too, right, because like attracts like, and I feel like in this scenario, there are people like you, but they're operating from their contrast of you. So whatever light you're walking in, they're in the unaware aspect of that light. You understand? So they're in the hidden, they're in the unknown space. And so when they see you, they become aware, wait a minute, That light is shining differently. That light is different from mine. Do they have influence? Absolutely. These people are going to be just as influential as you. They may be physically around you right now, friends, family, associates. Um, they may attempt to manipulate you to cross you over into their dark side, right? And they may do this unconsciously without knowing. And it's because they recognize that you have a power that is just like theirs, but it's the contrast of theirs. Um, so they could get very moody. They could tend to be temperamental over minor things. They can feel like something that's really small, they amplify it and make it big. If someone makes a negative comment, or they don't trust them, or they just come up against them, or they show any type of sign of disagreement of any sort, it's like having an unchecked ego, right? They may overreact if someone spills glass, if they miss the bus, if they're late to something. It's like, oh my God, you may notice that they're in a lot of drama relationships, or they find themselves in those types of relationships. They may tend to lose their relationships, romantic, disappoint, have bad credit. They may struggle with not letting go of people. So there's a lot of disharmony that comes with it as well. And they're not aware that they have an illness, right? And that illness, they only become aware of that illness, that it's a need for them to balance what they feel and process the emotions. This comes from not knowing how to regulate or process emotions of grief, loss, despair, abandonment, guilt. So they'll hold a lot of regret. They'll behave in a certain type of way that's contradictory to what they say that they want. When they feel lonely, they'll feel like they need companionship, or they need something, very clingy energy. In some cases, it could be very manipulative, demonic, evil. If they're in the position of power, they can become like a sociopath. They may plot, scheme. Okay. So they may enjoy seeing shit go bad for other people. And so this is just like a dramatic examples of what those mood swings, how those mood swings may play out. They can be known as a player, a charmer, uses the pleasure for gain, trying to get ahead, stepping on people to get where they're going, constantly try to get up under your skin, waiting for ways to trigger you, remembering like details that you've told them, if you've ever shared anything with them, so they could work against you, trying to catch you off guard so they could pull the rug from underneath you. And in so many ways, what Spirit is saying, if you are operating from your balanced frequency, right, where you have the same, aura as this person, you have the same power as this person, you're attractive too, you're mysterious too, you have all these things, but from a balanced perspective, you would be considered charming, mysterious, someone that has great power of attraction on others. People just naturally are drawn to you. You're very sensual, loving, enticing, alluring, charismatic, right? So when you embody those energies and you shine it in these dark places, it becomes very present. It becomes very, like, all the energy is going to notice you, even the good and the bad. Okay? But you may be known as someone that's very emotionally intelligent. You could be an excellent actor, actress. You know how to understand and convey emotions. You may be very good at relating to people. You may take delight in simple pleasures. You have a very awakened aesthetic, sense of humor. So you could be an artist into design or anything to do with expression of any sort. Heavy on the expression, okay? The only way that the contrast of you will learn that they are operating from an imbalanced state is by you continuing to 15-15, make positive changes with yourself, have new beginnings, perform personal transformations on yourself, leveling up, right? And from their standpoint, they may see it as you trying to get revenge. They may be looking at good, and that's just to amplify, that's just to magnify they would internalize what it is that you're doing. But like I said, 6:30, the choices, you're able to shine your light this way because the choices, angel number 6:30, the choices that you made, the decisions that you made them despite what you were going through, despite the state of the world, despite the trauma that you've been through, despite the abuse that you went through, the depression that you went through, the mental health experiences that you went through, cheating, dependency, violence, assault, whatever state of hopelessness or powerlessness that you've ever felt, instead of you responding and allowing it to turn you into someone that become spiritually imbalanced and just start fucking off on everybody and a mama because you've been hurt before, you took that and you 15-15, you made positive changes on yourself, you made better choices, right? You brought out, and when you started to make those choices, you took the high road. That high road elevated you from being dragged to hell with these energies of having to learn the same lesson, blocking your heart chakra. And so at this test that I feel like you are aware that you are in this simulation and you're about to go through a test, right? And I feel like this test is requiring you to, one, become aware, be extremely aware of your energy, right? If a demon was sitting right next to you and you were aware that a demon was sitting right next to you, by the way, a lot of demons are unresolved trauma, right? And you know that is, what is that? That's a mirror reflection of someone else that's been broken, right? So a lost soul or some shit like that. Fear, right, is going to make you want to hide and shy away and avoid the attention. But in this powerful number 6, your most powerful armor is going to be in shining a brighter contrast, right? No, I'm me even more despite the situation. And a lot of times spirit will call you to get out of certain situations or remove yourself from certain environments until the dust settles, right? Because during transformation, things heat up, okay? Fire burns, situation happens, words are said, fights break out. And so right when it's just about to get hot and you know, people are about to light themselves up on fire, spirit will be like, okay, it's time for you to bounce for a little bit, log off, you know, hit the road, go do something different, move around until the dust settles. And when the dust settles, spirit will be like, okay, now it's time. Look at that higher self. Now it's time for you to come out. Now it's time for you to pop out. You see how in this light, higher self is shining. Okay? It's shining again. Because it's like the moment that you turned on this heart chakra, every unhealed soul on the fucking planet Earth was coming to you like at the speed of light. Okay? They don't know. They just don't know why they drawn to you, but they got to see you. They just got to have you. They got to know what you up to. They got to be around you. Peace. Because that's what your love is. It's like peace. That's what your spirit is. You heal the heart. You heal the inner child. Okay? Where those fragments are created. And they don't know how to get on the right road. They don't know what direction to go in. And you see how she's in the clouds. And so that's the higher road. And then we have abundance. I am a limitless being and I can manifest whatever I desire in this physical reality. That's why you're here. That's why you're here. You are I'm not going to say that you're an example because we're really shifting away from martyrdom. We're really shifting away from sacrificial lambs and encouraging humanity to sacrifice themselves and to be nice, to be kind, to let people continue doing things to them. All of those things put you in a subservient state of consciousness that perpetuates a cycle that is hell-like, right? A loop, repetition is insane, right? And the only way to, the best thing to do to create a world or generations of broken anything is to make you go insane, right? Where you really become disassociated with who you are, why you're here, and what your soul is calling you to do. So we have Archangel Raphael has really helped you heal your heart. So now that your heart is so you can love big again, right? And you see how all these cards are talking about heart. We have consciousness 5, we have heart, we have a heart, we have here with the heart angel of love here. And angels are entities, and they don't really like to describe them as that, but anything that is not humanoid, right, is of another realm. And it is an angelic realm. It's the ones that we like to work with, but it's whether you call them an Orisha, a Loa, or you call them, depends on the religion or the faith. Every culture have different names, Lakshmi, all these different names. All of them are entities, okay, that have a level of consciousness that we are unable to comprehend at our level, but through connecting, right, tapping and agreeing and connecting with each other from our feminine energy, right? It's in our feminine energy, like it's said in the angel number, not the angel number, but the numerology number 15, allowing you to connect to femininity. When you connect with your feminine aspect of yourself, your ego from your logical brain turns off, and then your femininity from your divine feminine left brain, okay, starts to allow you to connect with those entities, allows you to connect with those ghosts or spirits, or, you know, whatever level of consciousness that you're working with. So let's get into something that I feel like I'm missing. Like, I don't feel like I'm missing it, but I feel like there's something I need to say. So it's like the divine is saying, you are a therapist. I don't care if all you do is write cartoons and you tell stories through cartoon animation. You are, Spirit is making you consciously aware that your soul is still a therapist to humanity. You are still here as a space for people to go and say, your comic book got me through depression. Your comic book got me through dark days. Your song got me through this, got me through that. Those are the reflections of yourself that you're going to get confirmations from. And a lot of you are meant to receive a lot of opportunities in your life because of this service that you are doing. Just doing your natural everyday talent, right? So any guilt tripping around you performing spiritual services or using your talent to make money from it is not godly, or it's not of the divine. That is a manipulation tactic. That's called, it's reverse psychology. Making you doubt yourself is the quickest way to get you to detach from your soul and be lost, right? But if you're worried about who you're connecting with, who you're talking to, if it's evil, if it's demonic, I feel like Spirit is saying, quiet your mind. Quiet your mind. And if you're ever unsure, ask critical questions, right? One of the things that they did to rearrange the context of the Bible is to throw a big word like obedience to you and then give you the definition of it. And the definition becomes like a spell that you cannot break. It binds you to do as I say and not as I do, because I gave these orders to you. And when you speak that over yourself, because it came out of your mouth, you agreed with it, and thus the spell controls you. So in this situation, it's like Spirit is saying, if your soul yearns for evolution, and your soul, your higher self, is there to help you heal, make peace of situations, bring clarity, evolve. How can you evolve if you never ask what a thing is or what is, you know? So there's nothing wrong with asking. I feel like, and sometimes you got to ask your higher self to give you the confirmations that you're looking for. Because I feel like a lot of you, if you're looking for love, you will come across a charlatan that will convince you that they're there to heal you and they're your sexual healer, and then they'll be fucking you 3 ways on Sunday because they got you convinced that they got the healing between their legs, and that's all a scam. Then next thing you know, you'll be over there converting to cults you ain't got no business being in, because you don't know your soul. You don't recognize yourself. And so when you're right at the precipice of really knowing who your soul is in all these different lifetimes, someone's going to come in and they're going to be like, yeah, you're a little too cuckoo. And then you're going to try to fit in again. You're a little too cuckoo for me. You're a little too outlandish. You thought you was a dragon. Yeah, okay. Now that consciousness shit has got into your head, you know? So you're going to have to use your own discernment, because trying to explain the level of awareness that you have to a level of consciousness that lacks your awareness is going to be like, it's like the plug ain't going to fit, okay? You carry more voltage. You're a 2-prong, you're a 3-prong. You know, you gotta plug yourself into the right outlets around here. So let's see. Clarify for me. And I feel like this level of consciousness is going to be hella convinced that they're not your students. Those of you that are embracing this sensuality, you're embracing your aesthetics, you're embracing your quirkiness, your mysticism, your charm, your attraction. They're going to be convinced that there ain't shit that you can tell them. There ain't shit that you can teach them. And that's the furthest from the truth. But does that mean that you should stop doing it? No, that means you should continue doing it, because you provide the contrast, right? If everybody believed the way they did or another person did, then there would be no evolution. You gotta have different flavors, different types, different strokes for different folks, you know? Page of Swords in reverse. So you're gonna have people that's looking at you real weird, and they're gonna be like, especially like family, friends, with the 4 of Wands in reverse. They're gonna start being suspicious. They don't know if they should support you or something like that. I feel like, okay, so with the 4 of Wands in reverse, this is telling me that foundations are still being brought down, okay? And as those foundations are being brought down, imagine so much coming out in social media about, you know, religious people getting caught up in weird shit, spiritual people getting caught up in weird shit, celebrities getting caught up in weird shit. It's going to leave a whole collective of people that are just like lost. Like, what's the point? What's the point anymore? Everybody's just doing stuff for money. Everybody's just caring about themselves. It's all bad, right? So here you come shining your light, and they're coming with the same screwed perspective. And then they're going to start looking at, well, are you doing this for money, or are you doing this because you really are called to do it? So they're going to try to test your spirit, as they should, right? And as long as you're continuing to strap up with your spiritual armor every day, that lifestyle supersedes your relationship, and that connection with the Most High supersedes any skeptic that you may ever encounter along the way. You know what I'm saying? Any charlatan that you may bump heads with, you know? And yeah, you may have to run a little bit. And some of y'all may be afraid to call on certain entities, because, again, that goes back to the limited belief system of a prior consciousness. Be careful who you pray on. Be careful who you call on. But those deities were created to rule, to be good at what they're good at. You get what I'm saying? So the god of fear, right? The god of war, the god of whatever the fuck, okay? No disrespect to the deities out here. But what I'm saying is, when you call on that angel, you call on that source, the divine created them too. You understand? The divine created you. Maybe once upon a time you used to be an angel. You don't remember because now you're in a human flesh. But once upon a time, you could have been just like a deity that was called on. But now all of that energy and all of that, every lifetime that your soul experienced is now harnessed into your heart. And you're walking with this ancient soul on the face of the earth, and you're encountering people, and your aura, your spirit speaks volumes. Okay? It's everlasting. Your immortality is in your heart chakra. Okay? That's how many times your soul has incarnated. And so you don't remember those lifetimes where you and those angels were one. Some of y'all have been in love with angels. It was two angels in love. You may resonate with a particular angel, or that angel may take a likeness to you because in a prior life you were married to that angel. Those contracts were fulfilled. And it's something that's still being fulfilled, no matter what lifetime you're experiencing your expression of existence in. Even though you are having a human experience, those contracts are still there, and they love you. Like, they do not play about you. But one thing that you have programmed yourself, can nobody on any realm in any lifetime you've ever been take your heart from you. It's like the only thing it's like a kryptonite. When they try to separate you from your heart, it will fold on them. It will have a negative reaction to them. It will be like a kryptonite. It'll fuck them up. And so it's definitely given, be careful with me, the emperor. And so when you incarnate and you wed or you marry someone in this dimension, as a human being, some of them may feel, if their ego is bruised, they may feel like you're in love with someone else and they can never have you fully. And no one can ever really have you fully because you belong to you. You understand? But I feel like with the emperor energy, there will be many that struggles with that idea that they can't re-engineer you and re-hardwire you to think differently, and then they can have it. But they can only have it for a short period of time. It's not something that they can wield forever. It's like the spell will wear off. It's like that becomes, the restriction on them becomes time, because you're timeless. You see what I'm saying? And so they try to enjoy it while they last. And so what you can expect is, with the Lover's card, it's like, if you love me, you'll stop doing this, you'll stop doing that. You will block this person, stop talking to that person. You'll remove this, you'll give me access to that. You'll prioritize me here. You'll break up with this person. You'll never talk to that person. Insecurities on 10,000. And then what happens? Your shadow comes in. Remember, because you have this ancient soul. You are this ancient soul that is this ancient deity, this ancient God. And the way it works is, when someone attempts to engineer you or reprogram you or switch you up from being who your soul has called you to be, they conjure up the most ancient deity that you are. And then that manifestation with this 16 energy, it's crazy how we were talking about 15, now we're on 16. will come and burn the shit down. Everything. It's like someone will go through series of unfortunate events. They will be irritated. They may think like, oh, it's because of what you're doing that's causing this to happen, or it's because you really love someone else. No, it's that ancient spirit that you possess. You are possessed with an ancient spirit that cannot be untethered from you, because you are that ancient soul. You are that ancient spirit you manifest in physical flesh. And so there's many of you with that same ancient soul, that same ancient manifestation. And this is what they want to eradicate or keep from. It's like, we don't want that ancient energy here. But you can't deny. So it's like, it's either they let you go, like Calypso energy, right? She was in a physical vessel, but Calypso was her ancient spirit, I believe, and they had released her from her physical bonds. It's like plagues, destructions, and all these different things will happen, and a series of events will all happen until they release you from your physical bonds that they try to place over you through love spells, through love projections. And it's like, when they release you, then everything goes back to normal. And so why would they try it? I do not know. They don't ever learn. They just go back to the drawing board. They release you for a little bit, then they go back to the drawing board, and they just be like, damn, I was so close. They be like, damn, I was so close. I almost had you. Slippery little sucker, you. That's how they feel about you. Okay? And they're like, oh, I don't want that trouble. I don't want that drama. So when you see people fleeing from you or running away from you or being done with you, it's because they know. I think they have premonitions. They start having dreams of their demise, like walking off a fucking cliff. So those are the messages that I have for you in today's reading. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.